Right. 5 March 2022. And today was a very, very interesting day in Bulawayo. A lot happened today. And I'm going to unpack this, what happened in Bulawayo, in 2 videos. So tomorrow I'll be back to talk more about what is really happening. There is a lot that is happening behind the scenes. There is a lot that is happening with Nelson Chamisa that many people don't understand, and it will become clear within the next few months. As we go towards 2023, the Nelson Chamisa that you are seeing is not the Nelson Chamisa from 2018. The Nelson Chamisa that you're starting to see now is heavily backed by very, very powerful and strategic people. So if you look at Chamisa and the way that he is conducting himself, he has been thoroughly coached, and there are a lot of strategists behind Chamisa. And if ZANU-PF is not careful, this time around, they are going to be surprised. They're going to be caught unawares. So tomorrow I want to unpack what is happening with Nelson Chamisa and why ZANU-PF needs to be careful. So I'll do that in the afternoon. Then we're going to look at the rally that Chamisa is doing tomorrow in Mkoba. That is happening tomorrow afternoon between 10 and 4 p.m. So that rally, that's what we're going to analyze in the evening. But in the afternoon, I'm going to come back and look at who is backing Nelson Chamisa and why I think they're doing what they're doing. So today's rally was in Bulawayo, and it did not have a lot of people. They did not bus people to Bulawayo today. The reason why they did not bus a lot of people to Bulawayo is because they plan to bus the people to Gweru tomorrow in Mkoba. So you're going to see the rally in Mkoba tomorrow is going to be extremely big. And what you're going to see is that Chamisa is going to be hitting on the same 2 points: violence in ZANU-PF, the failure by ZANU-PF to deliver. Those are the 2 points that Chamisa is going to be hitting on. And in today's rally, which we did unpack, so we updated the rally minute by minute. You can go to gambakwe.com, you see the update there. Chamisa is now selling policy. So if you look at what Chamisa did today, he was selling policy. But there's one thing that Chamisa is still not doing, and I will tell you that at the end, what Chamisa is not doing. But he's now selling policies. So go and watch what Chamisa said today. The people of Bulawayo today were told what a Chamisa government is going to do. They were told what the ZANU-PF government is not doing. So Chamisa, strategically, he's shifting from the Chamisa that we know. The members are still singing Chamisa Chete Chete and so forth, but Chamisa is moving forward. Also, Chamisa is now centralizing power. So he's making decisions. And I'm going to show you in a clip that I'm going to play now. Tendai Biti, Welshman Ngube, Karenyi Kore, they're now neutralized. Even Mahere herself, she's neutralized. Chamisa is centralizing power, and he's making the important decision. A key point was when Chamisa decided that no one else is going to talk at a rally. It's only Chamisa who's going to talk. Very, very interesting decision. And it's got far-reaching implications because Chamisa says there were confusion in the message. So he's sorting that out. Now, I want to quickly go through to Khupe. Dr. Thokozani Khupe has caused massive division in the CCC. There are 2 camps. One camp which says Khupe should never ever be allowed back into the CCC or near Chamisa. This camp has got people like Opo Chingono. Opo Chingono is backing Fadzai Mahere for vice president as the single vice president of the CCC. And with the Opo Chingono, there's a bunch of other people, the academics, people who are outside Zimbabwe. They're backing Mahere to become the CCC vice president for the reasons that I said before. If you put Mahere as the vice president of the CCC, it's a masterstroke. She's going to attract young women. She's going to attract younger people. She's going to attract people that normally don't vote. So these people like Hopewell, they are taking it that way. But there is a bigger force behind Chamisa, and I'm going to unpack it for you tomorrow. Chamisa has received strategic coaching, and I won't be surprised if right now Chamisa has got a strategist that has been forwarded to him, because Chamisa says he is going to be working with Khupe. That is what he's saying, and I want to play it for you, and I want you guys to forgive me. I'll play this twice, but let me play it now. That little portion where Chamisa is differing with everyone else. So when I mean differing with everyone else, I want you to look at what has happened in the past week. So if you look at this guy here, Kudamza Siwa, he is Mahere's strategist. He wrote a big post where he said why Khupe is problematic. So this is coming straight from Mahere's people. Sani Makalima also linked to Mahere. She said, I don't usually, he said, sorry, not she. He says, I don't usually say much regarding such topics, but this whisper of Khupe coming back to our beloved CCC is a big no. So that is Sani Makalima. You can pick up a lot of tweets about this, but you will see that young Ostalos has not said anything, and you know Ostalos always backs what Chamisa is saying. But if you look at the academics, all of them have said they don't want Khupe to come back. If you look at what Chungono said today, I posted what he said yesterday. He put 3 posts on this topic. We don't want Thokozani Khupe back. But what I'm trying to explain to you here today is that Chamisa, because of the people that are backing him, is going to accept Dr. Thokozani Khupe. He's got no choice. It's been basically an instruction. Take everybody and work with everybody. So let's hear what Chamisa says here.
We want to work with everyone progressive. In the various platforms, people were talking about a lot of things. We are beginning afresh. Siatalisa from zero. We don't have any MP, we don't have a councillor, but we are going to have the majority of MPs and councillors in Parliament and in the council. We are very inclusive. It's a new start. It's a new beginning. What is going to be different is that we are going to have a roadmap. We will come to you. What we want is to make sure we mobilize every citizen. We want huge numbers. We want big numbers. We want to repeat what was done in Zambia. If we have huge numbers, there's no rigging. If we have new numbers... So by 2023, we want every person to vote for change. It's no longer about parties. We are saying to ZAP, come, let's work together. We are saying to Bulawayo, come, let's work together. We are saying to all those who are in the other parties, come and let's work together. It's not about position, it's about the change we want for the people of Zimbabwe. There is enough space for everyone. I know that a lot of you are saying so and so. No. We want to make sure that we build a citizen coalition for change. But I want to tell you, once bitten, twice shy. We are going to make sure that we don't allow ZANU-PF to infiltrate us. I've told the comrades I'm working with that whoever wants to work with the ZANU, please.
Right. So, you can see what Chamisa is saying here. Chamisa is going to work with everybody. The mistake that Chamisa has made in the past is that he has followed the Tsvangirai template. So what Tsvangirai used to do is he had a few people that he trusted and he worked with those people. So the MDC never grew. If you look at this flag, where Fadzai Mahere is coming from, their biggest problem, why they did not make it, was that they did not include other people. They were not inclusive. That is why this flag failed. Now, as I said to you, Chamisa has got people that have been seconded to him. And I am going to unpack this more tomorrow. It's clear. If you look very carefully at what Chamisa is doing, this is not the same Chamisa. Chamisa has been thoroughly coached. So What Chamisa has been told from my analysis is that he should work with everybody. He should include Khupe because he needs to get votes from Matabeleland. So you're likely to see Chamisa, as he appoints people, you're likely to see Chamisa obviously as the president and 5 or more, even more than 5 vice presidents. So people like BT, they're going to be included. Then in Matabeleland, because Welshman is sick, you're probably going to see Dr. Khupe taking the vice president, second vice presidents there. You're also going to see Mahere, probably she's going to be a 3rd vice president. And then 2 others, depending on what constituencies are going to be catered for by those people. So look forward to this, an inclusion of the Dr. Thokozani Khupe in the new CCC based on a strategic calculation that you cannot do without Dr. Thokozani Khupe. People in Matabeleland, they've not been voting for the opposition. They've in fact been voting for ZANU-PF. If you see the calculation that was done by Professor Welshman Khupe during the week, the MDC lost to ZANU-PF in Matabeleland. He did the calculation. I'll probably look for it and I'll post it for you. So what these guys want to do is to win, and they will not win if they do not make that important change of including Dr. Thokozani Khupe in Matabeleland, because they need someone on the ground. They need someone to work on the ground. However, people like Chingono, they are not in the picture. They've not been given the full picture. And I'm also going to unpack that tomorrow, why people like Chingono are not trusted. Chamisa does not trust Chingono. I've said this before. When Chamisa looks at Hopewell, he sees someone who just lacks attention, but who is not strategic. So Chamisa has decided to do this by himself. He's ignoring advice from a lot of quarters, and is now taking advice from his strategists that have been seconded to him. So expect Dr. Thokozani Khupe to be very, very high up in the new CCC structure, even if a title does not say vice president. She's going to be definitely included, because if they do not include her, who else are they going to put in Matabeleland? You saw the stats that Tabita Khumalo is in when she came out today. Tabita Khumalo could barely last 2 or 3 sentences when she was speaking on the stage. She is unable to function, so she's definitely out. So that's the national chairman out. Welshman Khupe, very, very sick. He's not able to function. You can see physically, if you look at him, that he's not feeling well. So 2 guys from Matabeleland are down. Who else is there? Young people like Pugeni, they are stuck with their senatorial posts. They're not brave enough to leave Chief Njob. They stayed with Monzora when Khupe ran off and went away because they wanted to stay as senators. Now, there's no one. And Dr. Khupe has been heavily criticizing President Idi Mnangagwa over the past week. So given the handlers or the people who are strategizing, I don't want to say handlers to Chamisa, because I think Chamisa is very, very intelligent at the moment. If you look at what Chamisa is doing, if I was ZANU-PF, I would find it very difficult to counter what he's doing now. Especially when you look at the messaging of Chamisa. What is the message of Chamisa? First, ZANU-PF has failed. ZANU-PF is corrupt. ZANU-PF is violent. You know why he's saying ZANU-PF is violent? Because he's taking violence off the table. Every time ZANU-PF does a little thing, even if they cough, he's going to say ZANU-PF is violent. And he's going to blame ZANU-PF. He can even bring his own people to cause noise. And that moment, everyone will say ZANU-PF is violent. So someone has strategically taken away that tool from ZANU-PF. And I find it will be very difficult. And given the issue that we raised last week, the issue of a third force, this is going to be very, very interesting. You might end up with a situation where you get a transitional arrangement. And I want to go into the issue of transition. The issue of transition is very, very important. And I'll take you back to the issue of the bishops. That Zimbabwe cannot immediately move from one government of ZANU-PF and go straight to another government. A lot of people know this. A lot of people subscribe to that belief. that it's not possible to just jump from one government to the other. You see what Hakainde Hichilema did in Zambia. When he got in, he found it very difficult to operate. In fact, up to now, the Zambian government is not fully operational. They have not managed to fulfill all the positions. After Hakainde Hichilema fired all the people that were there, he fired almost everyone in the army, in the military, in the police, in the prison services. So Chamisa, I do not think he has the capacity to do that because he's not done the groundwork and he's got only 1 year to go. So very, very interesting developments and a lot to unpack for strategists. If you're a strategist, you know about strategy formulation, you know about strategy implementation. You heard Chamisa talking about a roadmap, but there's one thing that is missing. I told you that there's one thing that is missing, the system. Chamisa still doesn't know how to form a system, how to create a system. And that is where the issue of dialogue comes in. You cannot have a system without dialogue. The guys who are strategizing for Chamisa, they do not know this part. How do we create a system for Chamisa? How do we create dialogue in Zimbabwe? Because the moment you talk of dialogue, you now put this thing in the hands of President Mnangagwa, who is also a very, very good strategist. This is where everything could go unstuck on dialogue. Because without dialogue, Chamisa will not take over in Zimbabwe. Even if he wins the elections, he will not take over without dialogue. He will not take over without a system. And in Zambia, the way they did it was they infiltrated the existing system. So what Hakainde Hichilema did, he had people who infiltrated the system. And he did not go to certain places, but people were going underground to infiltrate the system. So that is the Zambia playbook, which I talked about during the week. A lot happening, but Khupe right now at the center of the matter in Bulawayo, in Matabeleland. There is no way you can operate without a key figure in Matabeleland. ZANU-PF has lost all their key figures in Matabeleland. The death of SK Moyo, a very big blow for ZANU-PF. The death of all the guys who have died, basically in ZANU-PF, they're very powerful. They have their own constituencies. And VP Kembo Mohadi, his dismissal from the position of VP, it has taken away from ZANU-PF in Matabeleland. Now, Chamisa has to bring someone like Dr. Tukuza Khupe, because those 45,000 votes that he lost, they made a big difference for him last time. He's not going to make that mistake. And the people who are strategizing for Chamisa are not going to allow that to happen again. Right, I want to quickly look through the comments. I want to wrap this up. In the afternoon, I'm going to come back and we'll talk about who is strategizing for Chamisa. It's clear. It's clear to everyone who knows. If you saw ZANU-PF traveling to Zambia, you already know what I'm going to say tomorrow. Now, let's look here at Ramai. Hi, Ramai. How's it? I haven't seen you doing your lives recently. Right. How about you tell us of ZANU-PF rally in Cholojo? I did not see the rally broadcast anyway. I'm going to look for it. It's very interesting. But remember what I said to you. This is not about ZANU-PF. This election is not about the ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF can only lose this election because they've got the structures. Chamisa lacks the structures, he lacks a system, he will rely on dialogue. Those are the three things that are key for Chamisa. ZANU-PF has got the structures. All they need to do is get the people out. If ZANU-PF get the people out, they're going to win. But remember, if Chamisa wins as a president, what about winning as for the MPs? That's also another issue. How is he going to maneuver that situation? So dialogue is essential. That is where the issue of dialogue comes in, the issue of the third force. I've already said it to you. The strategy for 2023, very, very complicated. Let's look now at other comments. I want someone here. Okay. He's saying, I believe Chamisa is now revealing his G40 roots. I do not want to say no, Changunda, because the people that are going to be in the third force, as I said to you, remember the third force, always, this is going to be key going into 2023. Chamisa could be standing here, and there are people in the shadows helping him, even when he doesn't know that is being helped. People like angels or dark angels. they'll be helping Chamisa from the shadows, because the issues at stake are very, very high. Southern Africa has become very, very important suddenly, and there are many people who want to see a different kind of government in Zimbabwe. And G40 is very small now. There are very few people in G40. But as I said to you, there are people in both sides who want to see change. They don't want to wait another 5 years. And this is where you need to understand that things are going to happen. But on Chamisa, there is one weakness. That weakness of failing to create a system, because it requires a dialogue with President Mnangagwa if anything is going to happen. Otherwise, they'll have to overthrow. And overthrow, I don't think it's possible right now. Now, let's look at... So I hope I answered the question, George, on G40. I don't think G40 is a serious... G40 by itself. I think the strategists are more dangerous than G40. Because if you look at Chamisa, as I was saying to you, before he was hiding among other people. He was hiding behind BT, he was hiding behind Scala, he was operating behind people. Now Chamisa is at the front. And it looks to me like he's got another center or another source of consultation other than the guys that he used to work with before. And he's making the decisions. He's no longer making decisions in a group like he was doing before. So that is very important. That is very key if you look at Chamisa. And also, when he says something, he is talking about a decision that he has made already, not a decision that he's going to consult. So he says to the guys, we're going to come back with the new leadership. And even I myself am no longer the president of the CCC. I'm a caretaker. So it's something that is translating to everyone else, including himself. But he knows that he is not a caretaker. Right. And I want to wrap this up. And I want to see if there's anyone here. Right, let's go to Maxo Mujokoro. Chaka Kujgira Chiombe Chamisa. When you sleep, you dream Chamisa. Okay, I want you guys to understand something. Kambako Media is one hell of a media house, if I have to say. When there are elections in Zimbabwe, and even in Zambia, you should ask the guys in Zambia. When we had elections in Zambia, people were watching Kambako Media from Zambia. Why? Because I go deeper than what is happening. So what I'm telling you now, you could pay to hear this stuff. There are think tanks who sit down to say things like this. So I don't have anything against Chamisa. The thing is, I'm not in politics, I'm in media. You will never hear me contesting or anything or looking for a position. In fact, in the last election, just to tell you a secret, I was offered to be an MP. What constituency do you want to contest in? And I said, no, I don't want to contest. So don't even think about that. I don't see myself as someone who's going to contest an election. I don't like doing things in government. Even if I was going to be offered a government job right now, I will not take it. I don't like working in government. I don't like working in public service. I like to create things. So you won't see me going to Chamisa saying, I want something, or whoever. I don't want anything from anyone. But I really love running a media house. The things that we're doing here, very, very interesting, very impressive. We do what we like, whenever we like. And I think our media house has made a very, very big impact. In fact, I could dare say that Kambako Media is one of the top 5 media houses in Zimbabwe. I won't be mistaken if I say that. And I always tell you guys that me against Hopo is like one against none. I'm not lazy. I wake up to work almost daily, late, and I'm aware of what is happening here in Zimbabwe, all over the world. We are awake and aware to all these things. So don't worry, don't think we've got anything against Chamisa. Nothing at all. And if Chamisa was to be president, it won't change my life at all. In fact, I'll continue the way I have been continuing. So that is the rally. Okay, this was today's rally. Not many people there. I can say about 1,000 people that attended that rally. and most of them came in much later. I want to wrap this up. And as I said, I want to come back here tomorrow. There's a few things that I saw that is happening with Chamisa. Let's unpack who is behind Chamisa right now, who is strategizing for him, who is the think tank for Chamisa, and what is the game plan, what is going to happen after. Let's me hear from Zizuru. Musam Tuke, we inside people who are telling him only that yes, ano poronga. Okay, I'm hearing you. I don't have anyone inside. Inside, there's no inside right now because Chamisa has got no inside. As we speak right now, even if you ask him what is happening, he doesn't know. Probably the only person who knows is Mahere. And guys like Kuda, these guys, they know a lot. So if you look at the guys who are in this flag, they know a lot because they've basically taken over. This flag team has taken over. They're at CCC. They are doing everything. Even if you look at the branding, I wouldn't be surprised if the same factory that I was doing this flag branding is doing the same work for Chamisa. The guys are organized. I have to give this to them. They've totally changed. They've totally transformed. In these past 2 months, the CCC of Chamisa has totally transformed. You are looking now at a different outfit. And that is where everyone needs to watch. That is where the action is happening. So this is it. Let me play again for you the speech by Chamisa. And then tomorrow I'll be back in the afternoon. We unpack what is happening with Chamisa and who is backing and funding him.
We want to work with everyone progressive. We were in the various platforms. People were talking about a lot of things. We are beginning afresh. See, Kalisa from zero. We don't have any MP, we don't have a councillor, but we are going to have the majority of MPs and councillors in Parliament and in the council. We are very inclusive. It's a new start. It's a new beginning. What is going to be different is that we are going to have a roadmap. We will come to you. What we want is to make sure we mobilize every citizen. We want huge numbers. We want big numbers. We want to repeat what was done in Zambia. If we have huge numbers, there's no rigging. If we have new numbers... So by 2023, we want every person to vote for change. It's no longer about parties. We are saying to ZAP, come, let's work together. We are saying to Bulawayo, come, let's work together. We are saying to all those who are in the other parties, come and let's work together. It's not about position, it's about the change we want for the people of Zimbabwe. There is enough space for everyone. I know that a lot of you are saying so and so. No. We want to make sure that we build a citizen coalition for change. But I want to tell you, once bitten, twice shy. We are going to make sure that we don't allow ZANU-PF to infiltrate us. I've told the comrades I'm working with that whoever wants to work with the ZANU, please, you will see that going forward. We have changed from the way we used to do things. We are no longer MDC. We are not MDC Alliance. We are going to have a new leadership that will come, but that leadership is going to come from you, the citizens. But there are things that we are going to change. We used to do things differently. Youth would come, women would come. When we are doing a speech such as this, we are only going to have one speech and we go back home so that we do not have a message clutter.
Uyo oh.